Hey YouTube, I am High Priestess Isis Amun Ra. My legal name is Isis Amun Ra. I want to take you guys on this journey with me because this is my first really coming out of the closet with my divinations and just practicing learning how to read cards. I want to be able to share this experience with you all. I am waiting on the Mermaid Prophetess 222 to start her live stream so that way we have a little authenticity with the reading. Right now, what I will do is flip cards in reference to the reading that's being told, and I will give how it resonates with me. So you guys will start getting into your spirituality and really take this journey with me because I've been going through a lot lately. And at this point, I don't have anybody else to sit up here and make pretend with or be a certain way. So I want to be my authentic self. I again am Isis Amun Ra. I am from well, I was born in South Carolina, but I was raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. And, I got my tarot right here. So we're going to see what happens once she gets online. But for the most part, we can start. And, I'll really be doing a lot of how a reading resonates with me, just so you guys see that it's valid. I don't want people to shun spiritual people just due to religious beliefs because spirituality is real, God is real, angels are real, ancestors are real, and I'm a living testimony, you know. So let's start off with Light. Her name is Light on YouTube.
If you can't take a good picture, then you need this AI app. Just snap a photo.
This is from 3 hours ago.
Perfectly removes the background.
You know what's interesting?
I'm
feeling a very subtle type of energy today.
It already has 8,000
And
views, so I'll put it closer so you can hear.
there's a lot of people at this time who feel like they
She's a
want to put
prophetess.
a lot of things
She's
behind
not
them.
really like a tarot carder,
There's a lot of resistance in the beginning,
but
and
it all resonates because I'm not really a
it's
tarot
like
reader.
I'm getting
I
a lot of
have
people's energy. They don't want to fight the
claircognizance,
current
so
anymore.
I have a good
And it's going to show
understanding,
up
clairvoyance as
as
well, and I just use
them
the cards for
wanting
confirmation.
to either
Like
come
Queen of
out to
Swords at the
you
bottom of the
and
deck,
open up, or unable to
Empress at the bottom of
hold
the deck,
this unaffected,
Creation,
this
Seven of
distant,
Wands, and Judgment.
indifferent energy towards you. And at
I'm
first,
starting a
it's going to
new
show up
endeavor,
as
the Fool.
them trying to seek approval from you, or
Ace of
them
Cups.
trying to love you, or trying to get to know you deeper, or them kind of spiraling where it's either happening in public towards you or in private. And it's very interesting because those who cannot express those feelings towards you, it's showing up in strangers for you. It's showing up in strangers that are either highly critical or very supportive and loving towards you. I feel like we've reached a boiling point where a lot of the energy that was purposefully moved away from you, purposefully stifled away from you, is finding its way back to you in very different circumstances through very new or estranged people. And this is a very, very subtle energy that I'm picking up on today. There are particular lovers, people who've created a lot of disharmony in your life, who want to bury the hatchet at this time. And I feel like they're doing it because they feel like there's forces against them, there are energies against them they can't quite mitigate anymore. And at first, these are people who would have, if they had the opportunity or the capacity to do so, they would have continued to press you down. They would have continued to go down this path of domination and submission but that path is closed off. Like every time these people go down that path, they're being met with immediate repercussions. And it's gotten to a point where they feel like they need to get certain things off their chest. I picked up on a very, very horrifying energy yesterday, and this may not resonate with everyone, but it happened in a childhood state. What I saw was the rivalry of two families, and I have a blog about this. It's called The Rivalry of Demonic Heritage. Check it out. It's in my description box down below, the Seer's Journal. But
She's a seer.
I'm going to talk about something very intimate and very intense. What I picked up on was a child, possibly you, or perhaps even someone that you know, 333 as I looked up, who was unnoticed. They went unnoticed. And
The
this is
moon.
a child that
Hidden.
ended up in a family that didn't necessarily belong to them.
I was in
But the way
foster
they
care.
ended up was as a collateral. Like the family that they were originally from paid the damages. And this is a very powerful energy of spiritual inheritance and repercussions. And this is repercussions that are man-made, or repercussions between families, or I want to say like witching, warlocking communities that had families. And the person that I channeled yesterday, the child, the baby that I channeled yesterday, ended up in a family that didn't necessarily belong to them. It was a family that took them. And I got this essence of the way that this family approached this child. This child was left behind. That's what I'm seeing. Like they were left behind. And they were left behind after the damages and the possible like burning down of lineage and legacy took place from the family that they naturally belonged to. And this family, I'm getting, has natural gifts. They're very gifted. I'm getting this like white hat witches, warlocks energy, where they may have crossed hairs with the wrong people at the wrong time, and they were tricked out of something. They were tricked out of a deal that they made. They were tricked by having somebody like a mole intercept them. And this mole, this energy that intercepted them, ended up taking their child, you possibly, with them. And it's like, I'm seeing this like parental figure screaming out to their child, crying out, saying, like, goodbye. But they weren't given away naturally. They were taken. They were almost claimed. That's the word I'm getting. They were claimed. And this child has been like a trophy. They've been like a payout, a payoff from this family that took them. And it's interesting because when I saw the vision yesterday, honestly, I wouldn't recommend drinking mugwort as a seer. If you're a seer out there, just... Hey, if your partner is being secretive with their
So
phone,
while it's
you need
on
to do this
commercial,
now.
I do want to say
Most people are unaware this simple. Yep.
how this resonates with me spiritually. While I was never adopted, I was actually abandoned as a puppy, and I was found by Muriel. Well, not necessarily, but I just like saying that when I explain my story. I was abandoned at school, in middle school in New Orleans, and no one came got me from school. And I was taken to foster care, where I spent the remaining time of my youth, basically, um, with another family in foster care. That's just a little bit about me.
Powerful website. Pace yourself with mugwort. I saw this child that was witnessing all of this, and nobody really saw this child until the very last minute. And there could have even been a burning down of a building, or a burning down of a specific location. And what I saw was the crew, the people that came in to infiltrate this family. They had something up their sleeve. They had something hidden. They were orchestrating this. They knew beforehand that this was a family that was going to fall into a trap for them. They knew beforehand, but they didn't actually see the child. I don't think they knew the child existed. It was like the child was hidden. And because of that, it's like they found this gem. That's what I saw. Like they found this gem and they saw the child like bear with me here, like a lollipop. Like it was like this grubby, sticky, greedy energy attached to these people. And like imagine like seeing a fly rubbing their hand, and there was so much violence, and the child that witnessed this, a lot of the violence ended up in their body. That's what I'm seeing. Like it ended up all in their body, and sometimes they have this like violent sensation come up in their mind. They don't know exactly where it's coming from. Certain sounds or certain textures or certain like, how do I explain it, certain things rubbing against each other may create the sensation, this like loosening type of energy for this child, because a lot of the stuff that they witnessed as they were ignored, they weren't witnessed, they weren't seen when this was taking place. But the child witnessed all of this, even though they didn't quite remember it. It's left in their body. That's what I'm feeling. Like it was left all in their body. And this child, like, I don't know if their family is still alive or not, but this child was claimed by a family that orchestrated the robbery and the two-timing, the theft of the family that this child was naturally born in. And it's interesting because what I'm seeing is that it's not a regular family. This isn't a family to family interaction that's regular. There's a lot of secrecy in it. There's a lot of gifts and rituals and
So I had to pause it real fast to let you guys know that my father had told my mom that I was killed or murdered or I died somehow and I was buried back in Barbados. And no one came to look for me when they found me. My mom, she was just like, "Oh, your dad told me that you were dead and buried in Barbados," but she never came to get me from foster care. So she's irrelevant. She left me where I was, just like everyone else. Everyone knew where I was. And I feel like it was because they were trying to do basically a uh, fake life insurance policy on me. And still, well, the bank accounts that I had as a kid were emptied out. They were wiped out. I found out when I was 19 that my dad wasn't my real dad. He was just the man I was named after. So,
an
yeah.
ancient bloodline. That's what I'm picking up on. Like, whoever you are, if this is resonating with you, you are a part of a very ancient bloodline, and you aren't who you think you are. That's why you've had a very strange interaction with the family that you found yourself in. You may have had a major memory gap from your childhood all the way perhaps until 7 or 8 or 9 years old. For some of you, it could even be 11. Like, you have been the object of a war, the witness of a war that should have been hidden. And it's like, what I'm seeing is they had two options with this child when they found out that the child was just there and it was a hidden child. Number one, they realized the family that they two-timed hit the child for a reason, because the child is very gifted. And B, they also realized the child witnessed what they did, but they couldn't actively hurt or harm the child because of the awareness that they had about the laws. And they even thought, what can we possibly do with this child? We have an opportunity here to fuel our family and perhaps our future endeavors using this child. And you know what's interesting to me? You may have had certain weird interactions. If this is a message for you, certain people, maybe if you were like in a carnival somewhere or a trip that you took with your classmates, there could have been a sensation that there was someone at some points, not every single time, watching you, or maybe strange people coming to talk to you as if they know you. And I'm getting this like Truman Show perspective from this family, from this bloodline. where this child is at the center of something that they don't know took place, but they do know. And they're watched because this family that took them is expecting them to change. It's expecting them to do something, to become something. But they don't want that child to choose the right course. They want that child to be embedded in their heritage to do what they do. And it's interesting because I'm getting this perspective of a child that was their bloodline, this child's gift, this family that took them has tried to forcibly, spiritually embed this child, sew them into their lineage, hoping that the gifts and the coverage that comes with this child and their bloodline will be brought to them. And I'm about to cash a $50,000 check for an accident I was involved in over 5 months ago. The same accident. The way that this has happened, I'm coming full circle to what I said in the beginning of the video, so bear with me. The way this has happened is the either maternal figure or the paternal figure, the spiritual leader, right, the elder, the shadow elder of that family that took the child, had a mission. And what that mission is to keep the child from completely awakening and also from completely shutting down. So what they do is they use the openings of lovers, specifically lovers, because there is a lot of potency in the sexual energy of this child. Their gift is directly tied to that lower dimensional, except it is very higher dimensional, paradoxically, right? Energy. That is the creative, the source energy of the child. So this elder, this shadow elder, has made it their business to use their connections and their cult and their organizations to embed lovers and relationships into this child's life that would leave them hollowed out, obsessed, fixated, or broken, so that they can continue to harvest and embed that energy into them. It's like they're using this child to clear out their karmic energy, to clear out to soak up the shadow and the karmic energy from the bloodline that doesn't really belong to them. But the second, this is what has happened now. This child has awakened. This child has awakened. I pulled an oracle card today, and the card that came out was spiritual awakening. The child has awakened. Again, it's not one single awakening, but has awakened to what has been left in their body, what has been left in their soul, because they've broken so many false contracts that were made under their name, false bonds that were made under their name. And so what is happening is that this family can no longer use this child to soak up their karmic debt. So this child is beginning to awaken and connect to their original lineage, which comes with a different form of protection. As this is happening, there is a collapse happening. The bridge is collapsing. The bridge that has kept this child away from their source, and this family incorporated into the source that they didn't belong in. What is happening is the bridge has collapsed between that. And in this collapse, the energy that was used against this child is coming full circle back to them from different people. People like friends, people that may have even wronged them, people that were used against them like proxies from these organizations that were sent to embed this child in a code that does not belong to them. That is what is happening at this time. This is a very powerful shift. The disharmony that this child has faced, and I keep saying child, but this could be a grown adult far into their 50s at this time, or even in their 30s. But I'm saying a child because there's a childlike innocence and essence about this person that I'm picking up on, and I have goosebumps all over. Like, I spent the night crying because of this energy, and I couldn't breathe because the pain. It's like what this child saw is absolutely petrifying, and it was just left in their body. It's so dense and it just wrung them out. And because what I'm seeing is like a child being separated from their family in that stage, in that very young, innocent stage. But not only that, but witnessing something that they can't possibly comprehend in their mind. And witnessing the type of evil that isn't just physical violence, but spiritual violence. And this is a gifted child, mind you. So it adds to the burden that they carry. As this bridge collapses, this false bridge that was built, this is what they do. This is how evil spiritual heritage and the gifted ones are intermixed, right? They're not yoked. They're not the same yoke. They're intermixed, and they are carrying the burden. They're carrying the burden uphill, while the others are getting the backwash of the gifts, the protection, the spiritual, especially the spiritual gifts protection that this one inherently has. And if the bond is let go of, what happens is that these people end up sinking. And this child, for a moment, there is this frozen moment. But all of this energy that was withheld from them, that they were fixing, has to go somewhere. After the bridge collapses, what I'm seeing now, it isn't just a fact of you not having to deal with false energy, disharmony from people, but people who have done that to you, not knowing where to begin with you. They don't know where to begin with you. They don't know how to approach you, and it's going to feel so disorienting because you've been mirrored in a very strange way for a very long time, and it's only gotten worse as your gifts awakened and as you began to ascend. What is happening is it's going to be disorienting because people are going to approach you from a place of honesty, from a place that you've preserved within yourself this long. And it's gonna be hard to trust these people. That's what I'm picking up on. You may not even want it. It's like you may want to savor the time that you have where you're finally being left the hell alone. Because that's what I'm seeing. You're being left the hell alone. Because they can't see you, they can't find you. There isn't a space that they can crawl through and still access you. So what is happening is this like liminal space, this suspended space has been awakened. And in that space, expect people, especially people who may have tried to use you sexually, expect them to feel very lost, to feel even embarrassed that they ever tried to mimic and mirror you in such a way, but they still haven't found their words to apologize because your guides and perhaps your angels are keeping them at bay, because this is a time, a very sacred time for you to just be. Just be without fighting off all of these things, because you're going to, a lot of the stuff that has been locked inside your body, the body that remembers, is going to try to find a way back into your consciousness. And it's going to be painful, but it's also going to connect you back to that childlike self. It's like the bridge between who you used to be, who you are now, and who you are becoming is going to be completely fluid. You will be able to see through everything. That is what I'm picking up on today. I'm going to leave it here. As usual, I don't reach out. Those are scammers. Everything you need to know is in the description box down below. Readings are closed because I am taking time to myself, and they're going to be back open next month, so keep that in mind. I know you guys send me emails, but please keep that in mind. My book, Sad Girl, is in the description box down below. What else? The blogs, please do check out the blog today. The blog I would recommend, if you have time to read it, is the Demonic Heritage blog, because it talks about the oppressor archetype, the affianced archetype. I explain what those are, and if you want to completely touch base into this more interwoven, more intricate parts of these energies that pull and push, I would suggest checking out the Ascension blog. It's the latest one. As usual, these are energies. They work through all of us. And I mentioned in the Enigma, right? The Enigma part of that blog. The Enigma is the one that has to go through all of those energies. The oppressor, they go through all of them. They're almost like the full circle. The full circle, they are everything and nothing at the same time. They are what I've called the Enigma, the Joker, the lovers, you, the chosen one, the awakened, whatever you want to call it, right? And the ultimate stage of the Enigma is the Watcher. So read the blog for more. As usual, until next time, everyone. Ciao. You look cool.
Okay, so story time. So when I was young, my parents abandoned me and I was left in foster care. I was actually left at a middle school. I was in my first year of sixth grade and I never got picked up. So I was just abandoned, basically. And from there, like I said, my mom, she was just like, "Oh, your dad said that you had died and went to Barbados to bury you." Even though no one could show me a death certificate, no one really ever showed me anything or told me anything. And they knew exactly where I was the whole time. Um, even now, I'm 30 years old and my family knows exactly where I'm at, what I have going on, but no one's ever reached out to me. I still talk to my foster parent and my foster family, and I have a spiritual family that I talk to as well. But I'm really a loner. No one ever calls me, no one texts me, but I'm okay with that. I have literally grown to the point where I am perfectly fine not fucking with nobody because hoes be fake. Just saying, hoes be fake. I don't want no fake bitch in my fucking inbox talking about some motherfucking they miss me and shit because a bitch ain't never even reached out to me before I started making videos on YouTube. So, you know, anybody who have those part-time friendships and shit like that, I'm good on that. I'm good being alone. Look, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. My life has been nothing but struggle, but I'm at a point where I have completed all those tasks. Look, look, I'm not even trying to fuck with y'all. As I cut the day, King of Wands, King of Swords, cutting through the devil to give back to my people. Because I have a nonprofit that I'm also doing this for. I'm just trying to get the funds back because I was betrayed by a bitch who I thought I could work with. But, um, when people don't get their way, they decide that they want to renege on things. And I'd rather just start my business myself and go the route that I had already intended. So if you guys do get this message or if you guys do end up watching this video, um, just comment, like, subscribe, and share so that way I can get my face recognized as I go through this Learn Tarot with me, real life Learn Tarot. I'm going to act like a real person who's clueless about what the fuck I'm doing, because I want people to understand that it's okay to be unaware or not knowledgeable of something and just grow to know it. And we can grow to know it together. I will even read out the book and do all that. We can learn it together. I am spiritually capable as far as understanding what's being told to me from the ethereal realm. But as far as like the traditional reading of cards, I have no idea about all that shit. So we can learn that together. But that's it for now. I'm about to start another video so I can have the Mermaid Prophetess 222 on YouTube live screened.